Just remember that you have a network, that you're not alone. And as a principal that started mid-year, some of the things that I learned from NAESP were essential for me. I've been a member of NAESP since I was an assistant principal. And starting mid-year, there were a lot of crises. There were a lot of fires to put out, a lot of things that I just didn't know yet. And so I had to draw upon my network to have resources and to just ask and find out information. How do I reconcile my budget? What can I spend? How do I get my PTO up and running? What's the most important thing about this piece of data? How do I share this with my faculty? How do I get their input? So I think it wasn't necessarily what someone else would call a crisis, but it was kind of a crisis of the mind. You know, I needed support and help, and that's one of the biggest things that I think as a new principal, you feel isolated sometimes, and you're trying to accomplish so much in such a short period of time that you forget that you're not alone. And with networking tools, it can help to support your success.
Besides the practical skills that principals need, I think they have to have a number of character traits. Those include honesty, morality, and probably most importantly, humility. If a leader shows humility, then they're going to end up having a growth mindset and understanding that we can't do everything perfectly. In fact, I think staff members are looking for someone who's eminently human, that makes mistakes and is able to learn from those mistakes, apologize for those things they do wrong, and then move forward. And so it's those character traits I look for in a prospective principal. I think when you look at somebody who comes into the job and thinks that they know everything already and are highly capable to do everything that needs to happen as a principal, sometimes it shows that they're not ready to be a principal. It also shows that they don't really understand what the job is, and it becomes evident very quickly whether or not they're going to be successful. You never feel like you've mastered the job. I had someone ask, how's it different between the first year and the rest of the years? I think the first year is the most difficult because you're discovering yourself, first of all, but you're also being challenged. You can be challenged by the public, by the teachers, by students to see what really are going to be your core values. And I think once you set that as people have an experience with you, then they start to understand and trust you more. So it does get easier the longer you do it, but every year is a challenge. I always think that if you're not growing, you're not living, and so we continually look for new ways to accomplish things. And I can say, even in my 25th year, I've been challenged this year in ways that I never have been before. And so I continue to learn from those particular challenges.
There are many challenges, but there are opportunities. So the opportunities that I see that we can learn from and grow from is how to create a safe school while keeping the main thing, instruction. And so daily, instruction is the heartbeat of your school, and that's where the focus should be. When you look at the success of students, it is leadership that's important, and that leader must know what it takes to move a school forward. And so the human opportunities that we have in our school as far as dealing with management of the day-to-day activity is safety. And so once you know that you've created a safe school and you have your plans in place, then you don't have to worry about my students are not safe in this environment. You can keep your eyes on instruction.
The challenge is equity and making sure that every child gets what they need, be it an exceptional ed student, an EL student, a student that's struggling, is how do we make sure that every single child gets exactly what they need. And so it's never going to be a one-size-fits-all. It's always going to be situations where we have to drill down to the unique learning styles and the unique needs that our students have. And sometimes it can be difficult, but we find ways. And with meetings and with professional development, we're able to meet the needs adequately.